Americana singer-songwriter and Tennessee native Todd Snider has died at the age of 59. He's best known for songs I Can't Complain and All Right Guy. We do know Snider was diagnosed with pneumonia at a Hendersonville hospital.
It is with overwhelming sadness that we share the heartbreaking news that Todd Daniel Snider, the fearless storyteller, folk rock rebel, and one of the most influential singer-songwriters of his generation, has passed away. Snider died on November 14, 2025, leaving behind a legacy carved in truth, humor, heartbreak, and the rough edges of American songwriting. His sudden passing has devastated fans and countless musicians who shaped their own work around his wit, honesty, and fearless approach to music. The voice that once filled smoky bars, crowded theaters, and open-air festivals has gone silent, but his words, humor, and stories remain alive. Early life and inspiration. Todd Daniel Snider was born on October 11, 1966, in Portland, Oregon. From a young age, he was restless, curious, and artistic, always searching for something deeper beneath the surface of everyday life. He spent much of his youth in San Marcos, Texas, where he first stepped into the world of music. That would eventually guide his entire life when he later moved to Austin, a city overflowing with creativity and live music. He found the place that felt like his true artistic home. It was in Texas that Snider experienced a moment that changed everything. At Gruene Hall, during a Jerry Jeff Walker concert, he watched the singer step out under the lights and turn stories into songs. In real time, in that moment, Todd felt something shift inside him and realized that he wanted to do what Walker was doing. Jerry Jeff Walker became more than a favorite musician. He became a mentor and the figure who set Snider on his musical path from then on. Snider's life was defined by a raw, unfiltered desire to tell the truth in song, even when that truth hurt. Rise of a troubadour. As a young performer, Todd Snider began carving out his place in the music world by playing small venues and slowly building a loyal following. He became a regular presence at the Lone Star Cafe, where his mix of humor, honesty, and offbeat storytelling caught people's attention. During this early period, he met Memphis songwriter Keith Sykes, who recognized Todd's talent and helped him move from the bar stage into the studio. With Sykes' support, Snider recorded what would become his breakout album, his debut studio record, Songs for the Daily Planet. Released in 1994, announced the arrival of a rare kind of songwriter. The album blended sharp humor, political honesty, lyrical skill, and a rough folk punk energy that felt completely his own. It included the surprise radio hit, Talkin' Seattle Grunge Rock Blues, a witty, comedic take on the music industry that pulled Snider into mainstream attention and made him a cult favorite. Soon after, his follow-up album, Step Right Up, arrived, featuring the fan-favorite track Trouble. The song's charm and clever storytelling earned Snider television appearances, national acclaim, and a growing army of fans who felt like they had discovered a secret voice, speaking directly to them. By the end of the 1990s, Todd was no longer just a barroom performer. He was a full-fledged troubadour with a story and a sound people could not ignore. In 2000, Snider released Happy to Be Here, an album that included the tongue-in-cheek hit, All Right Guy. The song, both funny and deeply human, quickly became one of his signature pieces and introduced his style to even more listeners. His 2004 album, East Nashville Skyline, became a career-defining release, especially within the Americana community. The record was packed with sharp humor, political insight, and emotional depth. Songs like Play a Train Song and Beer Run turned into modern classics, sung in bars, campsites, and car rides across the country. They captured everyday people, small moments, and big truths with equal force. In the years that followed, Snider released The Devil You Know, 2006, Peace Queer, 2008, The Excitement Plan, 2009, and Agnostic Hymns and Stoner Fables, 2012. Each record carried that same unique energy, part rebellion, part comedy, part tragedy, and always full of brutal honesty. His songs never felt polished in a fake way. They felt lived in. Todd never lied in a song. He didn't know how. And that refusal to fake anything became the beating heart of his art, struggles, relationships, and real life. Todd Snider lived exactly the way he sang, fearlessly, messily, and truthfully. Throughout his life, he battled addiction, depression, and inner chaos. These struggles were not hidden away. They showed up in his music, his stories, and his stage presence. Many of his greatest songs were born from the darkest corners of his life, turning confusion and pain into something other people could hold on to. Humor was one of Todd's greatest weapons. It was the shield he used to protect himself and the tool he used to connect with others. His shows could have audiences laughing out loud 1 minute, and then suddenly sitting in silence as he delivered a line that broke their hearts. His music became a kind of confession booth where he told the world everything. His mistakes, fears, regrets, and hopes without pretending to be anything other than human. Fans loved him for that honesty. They felt like they knew him, not as a distant star, but as a friend who shared the same struggles and joys among musicians. He was deeply respected and loved. He became known as a songwriter, the kind of artist that other artists have studied and admired. Big names admired him, legends admired him, even his own heroes admired him. In the end, Todd Snider was truly one of one. Snider was married once, but his sense of family extended far beyond traditional definitions over the years. He built a circle of close friends who became his found family. These were the people who stood beside him through tours, struggles, late-night talks, and long creative stretches. His relationships were complex and deeply meaningful, filled with both joy and difficulty. Many of these bonds directly inspired his most powerful songs at the time of his passing. In 2025, Todd Snider's estimated net worth was believed to be between $1 and $2 million, earned through album sales, touring, collaborations, songwriting royalties, and independent releases. But he never chased wealth. For Snider, the real value was always in the art, the song, and the connection between performer and listener. The true legacy he leaves behind is not financial. It is a body of work that continues to move people, change lives, and inspire other artists. Final days and lasting legacy. According to a statement shared on Todd Snider's official social media accounts, the final days of his life came suddenly and unexpectedly. After returning home last week, he began having difficulty breathing. At first, it may have seemed like something that would pass, but his condition worsened enough that he was admitted to a hospital in Hendersonville, Tennessee. There, doctors discovered that Snider had been quietly suffering from an undiagnosed case of walking pneumonia. What might have seemed like a lingering illness turned out to be far more serious. As his health became more complicated, he was transferred to another medical facility for additional treatment and closer monitoring. Despite the efforts of the medical team, complications continued to build, and the illness became impossible to reverse. On November 14, 2025, Todd Daniel Snider passed away from complications related to walking pneumonia. The news spread quickly through the music world and beyond, leaving fans, friends, and fellow artists stunned. Those who loved him now carry the heavy burden of his absence, along with the comfort of knowing that pieces of their shared life live on in his music. Todd Daniel Snider will be remembered as a bold, fearless voice in American folk and Americana music. He was a comedian in song form, able to turn the strangest details of life into sharp, unforgettable lines. Many saw him as a spiritual descendant of Woody Guthrie, a rebel who never backed down, a poet who could turn tragedy into something beautiful and human. On stage, he made every crowd feel like family. His shows were not just concerts, they were nights of stories, jokes, confessions, and songs, all woven into a single shared experience. Off stage, he mentored younger musicians, lifted up outsiders, and encouraged those who didn't fit neatly into the mainstream. He proved that there was room in music for misfits and wanderers. Snider didn't just write songs, he lived inside them. His life and his art were so tightly connected that you could almost follow his personal journey by listening through his albums. Tonight, somewhere out there, there is an empty bar stool, a lonely spotlight, and a microphone, waiting for a voice that will never return. The stage feels different now, quieter and a little colder, without Todd Snider's presence to fill the space with stories and laughter. Yet his legacy is everywhere it lives, in every person who ever laughed at one of his lines, then wiped away a tear a few minutes later. Your heart stays with us. Your music stays forever. Rest easy, legend. The troubadour has gone home. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Epic Dive for more amazing documentaries.